Well, welcome to another episode of NFL Fantasy Matchup. Here we are, Monday Night Football. We're just in the midst, almost about to wrap up in week three. There are injuries. Malik Neighbors was terrible. Daniel Jones is good. So, where do you guys want to start? Initial reactions for week three.
So I was just saying this before we jumped on, Tommy, and I think we forgot to remind everyone every year, week one and week two are a little bit crazy because the teams are figuring things out. And you feel like after week two, you got a whole handle on things. But every year, week three is a crazy week. And that's
Hmm.
where we
Yeah.
saw some really weird results. And I was talking about the Atlanta Carolina game. You just have these results that it kind of blows up what you thought you knew
Hmm.
season. And so that's the same way. So again, I think now though, going into week four, this is the time where if you've been waiting for someone to pan out for you over the first 3 weeks and they still haven't produced, week four is when you got to start thinking about, benching them,
Yeah.
cutting them
Totally.
loose and making them.
Yeah.
Okay, Chad, going with what you're saying, what would you say about Ashton Genty? For the first 3 weeks, he has not been very good.
Yeah, so I'm not dropping him, but you're sticking him on your bench. You're not playing him
Hmm.
because he's not producing. And you
Yeah.
also can make the call to go to other players who have it. For example, I was saying I played Daniel Jones this week. I cannot believe I played Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones has Drake May on the Patriots. I mean, you got to start looking at who's actually putting up numbers versus, and this is where those projections are tricky. Those projections are based on preseason numbers. You got to look at actual results to figure out.
So here's the thing. You know what, Jed, you are absolutely right. Because a lot of times I will play off of projection numbers, right? Because I'm looking at the matchups. I'm looking and there's a part of me is like, I know I shouldn't play off of those projection numbers, but I don't want to look like I'm already 30 points down projected to lose, right? And so like, okay, Scatterboo, for instance. There was a part of me, I was like, I should play Scatterboo yesterday, but you know what? I didn't and I forgot who I ended up. Oh, I played Travion Henderson because he was projected to have more points than Scatterboo. I should have played Scatterboo. I should play Quishon Judkins from Cleveland because he did so well. And so sometimes, like you said, those projected points, they skew you, and I don't know if you should always listen to them.
Well, but the only thing I would probably argue is that a lot of times you're sitting there playing Travion Henderson because you know Ramondre J. Stevenson eventually will not be there, and you're waiting for that chance for him to pop. And who
Hmm.
knew that Tracy was going to get injured, which opened the door for Scatterboo? It's like Najee Harris. Who knew that Najee Harris would tear his Achilles tendon, and now suddenly Ian Hampton is running like crazy.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for those projections, what I would say is I think for your key starters, so your running back one, your wide receiver one, your tight end one, I think using the projections is fine. Like I think those are legit. But I think when you're talking about your flex position or your wide receiver two or your RB2, if you've got a two, that's where, okay, now you maybe take a shot. Like you're saying, like, hey, you got a gut feel, or you feel like this is a defense they can take advantage. I think that's sometimes you got to.
But Jed, let me tell you, there was a slight moment there at the beginning of the year. I thought I would have bet you beat because we traded Marvin Harrison for Christian McCaffrey,
Not
and
over.
Marvin Harrison is stinking it up right
It's
now.
not over. It's not over. They're going to be
Yeah,
running a
yeah.
lot now with the James Conner injury. They're going to be passing a lot. So let's see.
Well, okay, did you hear the rumors? I don't know how true these rumors are. There was an article I read today where they said Arizona's going to have to go after a running back, and maybe a Brees Hall may be a good pickup for them. Given that he's last year of his rookie contract, most likely he's not going to be re-signed with Jets. Jets
Jets.
are going to want to trade him somewhere.
Okay.
And the question is, are you going to trust a Trey Benson? But it really goes back to Kyler Murray. Murray is just so small. So if you watch him in some of these games, it's like if they start rushing him and they're on top of him, he always misses these long passes.
Yeah. Hey, look, one eye is sitting here talking with you. One eye is sitting there seeing Lamar Jackson sitting there running around. But a lot of times the wide receivers are not open, so he's sitting there throwing into Justice Hill and they're running. I need him to throw to the wide receivers and the tight ends here.
Well, at least Mark Andrews got a 19-yard reception, and they thought he disappeared. Because I was sitting there trying to figure out why Tommy. Did you guys see that Tommy kept picking up Isaiah Likely and all these waiver wires a couple days ago? I was like, what's he doing? What does he know that we don't know?
Yeah. Hey, look, I've been sitting there, but Isaiah Likely, I think he's a lot younger than Mark Andrews. And once he comes, he does have some good games. I like Isaiah Likely.
Yeah, Mark
Hmm.
Andrews, it feels like he's a little bit, it feels like he's done as far as being in the top 10. He has not been producing a lot of. I picked him up in a couple leagues because people have been dropping him, but it feels like he's not a startable player.
Yeah, but it's such a weird year this year for tight ends, right? Like, who's the most consistent tight end, right? I'm looking at it right now. I mean, Hunter Henry was one of the
He's
highest
had some
scoring
good,
tight
yeah,
ends yesterday, you know,
yeah.
like, and he hasn't been doing
McBride
anything.
is good in Arizona. McBride has been good.
No, but he hasn't actually, honestly, this past week, Dalton Kincaid, Hunter Henry were the two best tight ends. Like, I thought McBride would be doing better, but McBride, Bowers,
Yeah, Bowers.
Laporta, none of them has really, they've not really done anything this year.
Yeah. Hey, a couple of injuries, big injuries. A lot of times, I'd love to get your comments on it. CD Lamb, high ankle sprain,
Oh,
out for a few weeks. Najee Harris, Achilles tear that we have. And then also
I mean,
Joey
James
Bosa.
Conner,
James
James
Yeah,
Conner.
Conner's
Nick,
out.
Nick Bosa,
Bosa.
ACL tear, and James Conner out for the year.
Yeah, I think Trey Benson behind James Conner, number two in Arizona. He's the probably going to be most leagues' number one waiver wire pickup. But I was saying I liked Scatterboo in New York as a running back. If you need a running back, I feel like he's a pretty good pickup. We talked about, Ramondre Stevenson looks like he's on his way out, and so
Yeah.
Travion Henderson.
Did you watch the game yesterday with Scadaboo? You can tell the announcers really liked him
Yeah,
because they kept talking about him. They talking about what excitement he bring. I also felt bad for Russell Wilson because I think they also kept promoting Jackson Dart as well too. I'm
yeah.
like, Russell Wilson's a potential Hall of Famer right there. But it seems like they're pushing for Jackson Dart to come in.
If you didn't see it in the press conference after the game for New York,
Yeah.
when the coach was talking, Scatterboo is like yelling in the hallway as he's walking by, and the coach gets distracted, and he says to the reporters, he's like, "That guy, he's like that 24/7. Like that's
Yeah,
just how
yeah.
he is." So that was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
but Scadaboo's pretty good. I mean,
Yeah,
what was it yesterday? Outside of Omarion Hampton and Jonathan Taylor, and Taylor's been doing great, and
oh,
Hampton went
Taylor's been
off
really
yesterday.
amazing. Yeah,
Scadaboo was the third highest scoring. What is he? He scored 24 points yesterday. I mean,
yeah.
for backup running back, and but I think he'll be good for New York.
Yeah. The one thing I get frustrated with Russell Wilson about is, look, he did well against the Dallas defense, and it shows that Dallas defense is terrible. But I think a lot of times, one of the things they kept saying is he keeps wanting to go for the big, long bombs
Yeah,
to
the
Malik
long
Neighbors.
bombs.
He's not patient. He's not able to sit there and just throw it to the short yardage and then wait. He just throws it automatically and tries to hit for the big bomb.
Yeah, yeah, agree.
Hey, let me go through a couple of games from yesterday as well too. We talked about the Indianapolis Colts. Jed, a lot of times, here we go. Daniel Jones, 228
Yeah.
yards. Jonathan Taylor, 102 yards. Michael Pittman, Pierce, all of those guys are wonderful, wonderful.
Well, I see. I don't know. So for me, so I was just saying, I think the Colts is one of the teams I totally missed on this season. I did not expect the change in quarterback to have such a dramatic improvement. But what it's really helped is Jonathan Taylor. Like he is back to
Yeah.
being a top five running back. But I personally still think the wide receivers, I don't think you touched ours. Now I think what's his name? Tyler Warren, the tight end. I think he's one guy that okay, he's I don't know what he got this past week, but I think that's maybe the guy. But the rest of the wide
Yeah.
receivers, it reminds me of Green Bay. Like I don't want to touch any of those guys. They spread it around too
Yeah, they do. I mean, Michael Pittman did score 19 points. Tyler Warren is a little injured and got 10 points. But like you said, Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, they've all been rather inconsistent as well, too.
Next game, Pittsburgh, New England Patriots. Jim, the one where I get frustrated, Aaron Rodgers, a lot of times, he still gets 2 touchdowns. But look at the wide receivers. Austin, 34 yards. Metcalf, 32 yards. He just doesn't throw for a lot of yardage on the New England Patriots side. Drake May is good, but he fumbles quite a lot. And so even though he threw 2 touchdowns and he runs, but still a lot of times you can't really trust him because of the interceptions.
Yeah.
much.
Did you know? I'm looking at Drake May right now was the third highest scoring quarterback yesterday after Caleb Williams after Josh Allen, and actually he was fourth, and after Marcus Mariota. So he was the fourth with 19 points.
Drake May has been solid.
Hmm.
He has been a revelation for sure. They've got something going on in New England. I was going to say on Aaron Rodgers, I think you're right on the what I'm seeing on Aaron Rodgers is he's doing a lot of checkdowns. He's throwing to the running backs coming out as his safety valve, so you're not getting huge yardage numbers in from wide receivers.
Yeah. Well, that's because I mean, I don't even know if he has an arm much anymore, right? Either that. I mean, that's one of the reasons I had Jalen Warren on my team, and I traded him this way. I traded Jalen Warren and Jalen Waddle for Jordan Mason and some defensive player, and I'm kind of glad I did that because Jordan Mason is actually a really really good running back, and I just felt like Jalen Warren was going to be inconsistent as well too. So I don't really trust the Steelers. I think they're going to win a couple, but I don't fully trust them.
They're in a tough division too. It's really hard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Jed, going with Tampa Bay, New York Jets. Tampa Bay has done really, really well. And hey, look, it makes my trade for Abuka and Tucker Craft. I got him, and I trade away Marvin Harrison. That has worked well for me so far.
Yeah, you know what? Okay. So I was thinking about it, Tom. You traded him 1 week. You traded him at the right time because if you waited another week and traded Marvin Harrison, no one would have wanted him because Abuka would have been the clear number one. I mean, Godwin's coming back. Jalen McMillan's going to come back, right? But I still
Evans
think
is out.
Abuka's going to. Evans is out. I still think that Abuka may actually turn out to be your number one because even though Godwin's coming back, I think he's going to be relegated to number two status.
I think Ibuka was even before Evans was hurt. I think he was
Yeah.
already the number one. He's been definitely a revelation. He's been this year's Malik Neighbors. He's been great. By the way, if you watch that game ending on block punt and final, I think there were 5 games that were won by a last second
Mhm.
field goal. If I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, either blocked or scored. So it was
That's
a pretty
that's
crazy Sunday.
that's why if you're betting on DraftKings, right?
Yeah.
And you're betting on the favorites to win, where like the who was it, Jets versus the Green Bay,
Yep.
you were gonna lose that game because I was pretty sure that Green Bay was gonna end up winning,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I was
Green Bay,
surprised
Green
that
Bay, Cleveland,
Jets were
yeah.
gonna play, end up winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of speaking of Green Bay and also Cleveland, who knew that Cleveland's defense would be so good, so good? You're sitting there looking at it, man. Both defenses are stopping. No one's doing anything, and then suddenly their special teams came out and did it.
That's a good call on the defense. I hadn't thought that because I was thinking about how it's amazing how Jordan Love and CJ Stroud, how they're really not playable fantasy quarterbacks anymore. I mean, these guys were so hot like 2 years ago, and
Yeah.
now you just don't even feel like they're not top 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Remind me the name of the Cleveland quarterback, the old guy.
Joe
Flacco.
Joe Flacco. Okay. See, here's the thing. Joe Flacco could potentially be the best quarterback for that system because he doesn't have to do much, right? Give it to your running backs, let them run it. I feel like if it was Shadur Sanders who was playing, he would try to make a play and try to extend it and try to pad his stats, right? Flacco doesn't care. He's consistent. He gets his ball and he lets the defense win it. I mean, they're not going to score a lot of points at the end of the day, but I mean, they did enough to win the game yesterday.
In some sense, it's very similar to how he won his last Super Bowl, where he just allowed the Baltimore defense just to do it, and he has a couple good running backs and everything that allowed them to really be able to do what he needed to do.
I will say, Njoku though is a playable tight end from Cleveland. I mean, he's getting a lot of Flacco's attention, so that's a guy that.
Or
I am kind of glad.
Jerry Jeudy gets me some decent amount of points all the time.
And Judkins. I'm actually really glad I've kept Judkins on my lineups.
Yeah, Judkins looked good.
Yeah.
He looks good running them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did.
Yeah. As we're talking, my wife is standing here listening and soaking everything in as we're talking about this fantasy football.
She's amazed at your knowledge and wisdom.
Honestly, I spend more time on some of this fantasy football stuff than anything else I do, even work. I get up so early on waiver Wednesdays just to get my plays. Like yesterday, I was in such a bad mood. Okay, I'm going to give you an aside. I was in such a bad mood yesterday because all my leagues, I am not doing well because I've gone all in on rookies and Joe Burrow, and all of them have been sticking it up for me.
Man.
Yeah.
So I just finished watching the Netflix special that had Joe Burrow, and one of the last episodes is when he accepts the Comeback of the Year award last year, and
Yeah.
he's like saying how, oh, it's kind of not a good award because it means that you got hurt and you're coming back. And then I was thinking, well, he's gonna
Yeah.
get a
Yeah.
chance
Yeah.
for it again in 2 years.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't know why that guy always gets hurt, right? Like they
Yeah,
spent so. Here's the thing: they spent so much money on receivers around him. You should have spent some money on that line to protect him so he doesn't get hurt.
yeah.
Next game, LA Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, who will be playing the Bears this week against, surprisingly, not Jaden Daniels, Marcus Mariota. Commanders put up 41 points. I said, Marcus Mariota, are you serious? But he did well.
Jad Tommy will know this, and I'm very disappointed because week is such a busy week for us. ESPN 1000 from Chicago have brought all of their staff out to Las Vegas, and they're all going to be hanging out there. I forgot which casino. I'm broadcasting from the entire week, and I so wanted to be out there for that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
And Jed, I actually thought with the Washington Commanders, I said, look, forget Marcus Mariota. He's going to go under 100. It's going to be Deebo Samuel the entire time. No, Deebo Samuel got 2 catches, 10 yards. That's all
Yeah.
he got. 3 carries, 16 yards. That's all he got.
You know, a lot of times, guys, when the second string quarterback comes in, they have a special connection to the second and third stringers because that's who they practiced with.
Mhm.
So they can't right away start pegging the number one guy because they're not used to that. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's something to think
Luke
about.
McCaffrey, that
Yeah,
you got
Luke
a lot
McCaffrey,
of
yeah.
them catches yesterday.
Exactly.
Yeah. But here's the problem is even with the running backs, like who's going to be their number one, right? Because who is it? Who ended up having that 60-yarder? I'm going to double check. Let me double check on who that 60.
Didn't see the game.
While he's talking about Jed, a lot of times another guy on the waiver wire, Las Vegas Raiders, Trey Tucker, 145 yards.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Raiders, I'm a little bit I don't know, a little bit suspect, a little bit worried about.
Jeremy
The only thing
McNichols.
is-
Jeremy McNichols is the running back.
Geno Smith seems to do well in the yardage. Is as bad as they are, they're always throwing. He seems to be doing well. 362,
Yeah.
180 seems not bad on the yardage.
But you need touchdowns. I mean, this league, all of our leagues, if you
Yeah.
don't get touchdowns, that's why you have to go with players on winning teams.
I'm also
Because
trying
you
to
get touchdowns.
I'm also trying to figure out what Las Vegas is waiting for, right? Like, because they got Genty over there. Are they just trying to like preserve him so that he'll be good by the end of the year? I'm trying to figure out why they're not running him more, even especially during the goal line.
But Jed, Geno Smith threw for 3 touchdowns yesterday.
Yep, yeah. So that's a good counter.
Okay, so is Trey Tucker a good wire pickup this week, or do you think it's going to be Trey Benson?
I'd be picking up Benson if it were me.
How about this? Trey Tucker or Luther Burden?
Maybe Burden, actually. But Burden all preseason, all during training camp, everyone's talking about. I told you I went to training camp twice. He stood out. I mean, the
Mhm.
guy was fast, and
Yeah.
you could just see the speed and the control. So
Yeah.
I mean, to me, if you're playing for the second half, Luther Burden is the guy. DJ Moore is clearly not the number one anymore. It's Odunze. Odunze is the clear number one in Chicago.
Jed, you know who DJ Moore reminds me of? Remember Allen Robinson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where he just disappeared. He was really good, and when they
Yeah,
just disappeared, he reminds me
yeah.
of Allen Robinson.
Did you guys notice that Keenan Allen, though? I think he has he had a touchdown yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
I think he's got 2 touchdowns on the season. So he's doing pretty good, going back to San Diego.
Hey, Keenan Allen scored 19 fantasy points
See,
yesterday.
there you go.
I mean, it's not bad. Okay, so seriously, going back, Luther Burden, how much would you guys spend on him? Would you put up $10, $15?
Yeah, somewhere in there, 10 to 15. I mean, I always think of from $100 budget, I always think of $30 as like kind of like if you're really trying to get a starter, like a star.
Yeah, yeah.
30 to 50 at the most.
Hey,
Because
someone put up $30 for Devontae Smith the other day. Actually, that's
Well,
pretty smart.
that
Actually,
was definitely worth
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
If I had seen that, I would have done that because
Yeah,
Devontae
yeah.
Smith is great.
Mhm.
Yeah. But let me ask you, the other guy on the Philadelphia Eagles, Saquon Barkley, very, very huge disappointment this year.
Well, yesterday he was just. But
I mean, he scored a touchdown. Yeah, he scored a touchdown yesterday.
I don't know
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that. especially because the running back position has been really tough this year. So
Yeah, but
Yeah.
remember, I mean, last year he was so all world. Every time he touched, he ran, he caught the ball, he was scoring touchdown. He's not there. He's okay, but definitely not there compared to last year.
Yeah. But I will make the argument with Philadelphia after Josh Allen. I will say that Jalen Hurts is one of the most consistent quarterback you can have. I mean, every week you know that guy's going to get you at least 20 points.
I've been picking Jalen Hurts for touchdowns. I've been using that pick because of the tush push. That's hit in 2 out of the 3 weeks. So
Really?
that's been a sneaky pick for me is Jalen Hurts touchdown rush.
That's actually pretty good. Jalen Hurts touchdown.
Yeah, I was
Hey,
actually
Puka
surprised by
Nacua.
Devontae Adams. He's actually pretty good this year.
Yeah, Puka Nakua. I was just gonna say I think I missed him because he's the real deal, man. He looks great. All those people who drafted him, congrats, because I think he's legit and staying healthy. The big thing is staying healthy.
Yeah. Here's the one that I want to talk about: Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers.
No, we can't talk about this game.
Jed, I actually put a bet for Bijan Robinson to get 40 yards. Oh yeah, he'll get 40 yards. It was a parlay. No, he didn't get my 40 yards.
Yeah, that game was I didn't watch it, but I can't imagine they got 0 points. Like I just don't understand how they couldn't even score when Carolina had torched the first 2 weeks. So I don't know what happened.
You know that they fired the wide receivers coach today, Ike Hilliard, former New York Giants Ike Hilliard. Yeah.
But did you see who they replaced him with?
Who?
Another former wide receiver. Google the guy's name.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Let me look.
but Jed, Kirk Cousins played 7 snaps for 29
did he
yards.
get in? Oh,
Yep.
good. Yeah, we're fans of Kirk Cousins here. We're hoping that he gets a shot somewhere. But I honestly, guys, I regret drafting Drake London. Like I was a little bit like I was hesitant going in. I was like him, and then the guy in Jacksonville, Brian Robinson,
Brian
Brian
Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
guys
yeah.
both disappointed me. It's just not that.
TJ Yates is the wide receiver that they replaced Ike Hilliard with.
But Jed, if somebody was trading away Drake London, I would so trade for him because I still have hope in Drake London. Atlanta, he's their star wide receiver. Same thing with Brian Thomas. I am hoping that both of them will continue to do well. I still have hope in both of those guys.
Well, Drake London I have on the keeper team, so I got to keep him because he's my replacement for Tyreek Hill. So
Yeah.
I'll give you Justin Jefferson for Drake London. No, I'm kidding. As bad as my 2-star wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, are still sitting there. I need their star power.
You know, they're going to be, I mean, when you guys saw that game, I mean, you know, clearly Cincinnati is in a little bit more world of hurt than Minnesota. So I think that's,
I thought Jake Browning was going to come by a little bit better.
Yeah,
Chris Brown has not done anything. Oh, that's okay. So that's who I ended up playing yesterday and lost me my game. I played Chris Brown, who I thought this year was actually going to be.
Brown,
Oh, Chase Brown, yeah.
Chase Brown.
Who I thought this year was going to be really good, and he has not been. And I should have played Judkins or Scatterboo instead of Brown.
Yeah.
Chase Brown had 10 rushes for 3 yards.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
You cannot pick Cincinnati running backs. There's just after they lost, you know, what's his name, Icky Woods, right? They've never had a rushing game after that. Like
no. I mean, Joe. Think about Joe Mixon, Brown last year. They were all pretty good, you know. And you got to think this is my theory. You're not. Burrow was not going to run into the end zone, so I figure if they're going to throw it. And they need to run it in, and they were in the red zone. You're going to give it to one of your running backs. That's one of the reasons why I picked Cincinnati so high, the running backs to go in there. I'm not playing Chase Brown this week. How about that? I'm playing Scatterboo.
Cincinnati is in trouble.
Yeah. But on the opposite side, Minnesota, Jordan Mason, it'll just keep running.
Yep.
I like Jordan Mason.
Pickup. Although is Addison's coming back, right? Week 4.
Yes, Addison's coming back.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see.
Hey, Green Bay, is there any, like, for instance, next week Green Bay is playing Dallas. Dallas is a terrible secondary, but you're still sitting there which wide receiver do I choose? You have no idea which wide receiver you're going to choose.
No, I mean honestly, out of the three right now, I would say Romeo Dobbs is the best bet to score. But I think Jordan Love will actually do pretty good just because Dallas's defense is so bad. But I think I mean Jordan Josh Jacobs, I think will score a touchdown, and I think Romeo Dobbs will score a
Hey,
touchdown as well too.
Jacobs had his streak broken, right? He
I
didn't score a
know.
touchdown. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, man. So I that messed up my DraftKings picks.
Me too, because I picked him to score,
Yeah.
and I had everybody hit. I had Dak hitting. I had like 5 hits, and I needed Jacobs to do a 6-1, and I would made $100, but he
Ooh.
lost.
I was gonna say the wide receiver. I'm not picking any wide receivers out of Green Bay, but Tucker Kraft. Hey, that guy is legit, man. Tucker Kraft is a guy. I think you're okay.
Yeah. Remember, Micah Parsons is going back to Dallas this week, and so if you're going to pick a team to win, this week is the week to pick Green Bay to win, because I think that they're going to want to win. And Jerry Jones already said they are not going to celebrate Micah Parsons when he comes back because he wasn't a real superstar like some of these other Dallas guys who came back.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Now,
We'll see what the spread is going to be. There's going to be a big spread.
well, parlay would be Green Bay winning, a sack by Micah Parsons, and a touchdown by Josh Jacobs.
yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Hey, Jen, I'm learning spreads and I'm learning all of these things. Before I used to didn't know what plus meant, minus meant. So I'm learning all these things right now.
Yeah. I'm a big. I like three pick parlays and 4 pick parlays. I don't like 6. 6 is a lot.
You know what? I went hard after, and I hit on 5 out of the 6. I was so happy. And then that 6th one, yeah.
Because DraftKings has that little thing now where you can do where if you miss just one out of the parlay,
you can. Yeah. No, I didn't pick that. Yeah, I didn't pick that. Yeah. I mean, he had the streak, right? So you got to think that Josh Jacobs was going to score a touchdown, and what I should have done is I should have done Hurts touchdown. I think that would have been a good one.
Yeah, after the tush push.
Yeah.
Denver versus LA Chargers. The Chargers, remember, I have Omarion Hampton on every single one of my team. I'm jumping for joy. He's going to do well. Johnston continues to do well, 89 yards. McConkey, 41 yards. Johnston is the real deal alongside with Keenan Allen.
I think Johnston's actually doing pretty good. Remember, he was on a TCU football team that played Michigan in the semifinals, and he was actually really good there. And the last couple of years he's just dropped, but this year he's getting all the balls.
Hey, did you guys see the Rams kicker, what he was doing on kickoffs?
No.
So they were doing this. He's trying to do this like knuckleball kick, so that the ball like comes out like a knuckleball, like in baseball, where guys can't like receive it. And it apparently was pretty successful. Like I didn't watch that game, but I was reading about it, and they were saying like, man, the Rams kicker like figured something out, and so they were wondering if like more teams are going to start to try to do that.
Very good. Yeah. Hey, on the Denver side, Jim, RJ Harvey was terrible.
No, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm trying to figure out as we head into week 4 whether to hold on to guys like RJ Harvey, the rookie out of Pittsburgh, and sitting there on my team. Who else has been sitting there on my team?
Colston Loveland.
Yeah, Loveland. No, I got rid of Loveland a long time ago. But a lot of these rookies who you thought was going to be good, you're holding out on the fact that the coaches said we're going to play him in at some point. But by the time they play him, it might be too late.
So for me, week 6, that's the one where if they haven't played by week 6, then
you're dropping them. Except if it's a dynasty, then you're going to keep them for a little bit. Correct. Yeah, you're going to keep them for a little bit. So
yeah. My Troy Franklin did nothing. I really had high hopes for Troy Franklin. I thought he would at least have 2 good weeks. I still believe in him, but still, this was a disappointment for me.
But Bo Nix is actually a really decent quarterback. I mean, he had 1, 2, maybe 2 touchdowns, for sure 1 touchdown. I actually think he's pretty good. He threw 1 good one to Cortland Sutton, I saw.
Yeah. Can we talk about the Dallas Cowboys and Chicago Bears? I mean, with
Yeah,
the
go
CeeDee
Bears.
Lamb injury, the Bears were just on fire, and they just did so well. And Tyreek Stevenson just did so well in terms of all those interceptions and changing the way that the game was played.
Well, he's been being criticized so much the last couple of weeks, and I think in some ways he almost had to come out with a good game. Yeah.
I read that flea flicker that was the touchdown pass to Luther Burden. That was specifically because of the former Bears coach. Um,
What's his name? The defensive
because of
guy, right?
Eberflus,
Yeah.
yeah, because he's now
Yeah.
the defensive coordinator, and they specifically knew that was a weakness of his defensive calling was the the linebackers being too up close
Mm.
for that flea flicker play. So that's why
You got to feel bad for Eberflus though. Like he was supposed to be a pretty good defensive coordinator, and his defense stinks. But they don't have Micah Parsons on there anymore.
Well, and this thing, you can't really blame Eberflus for it because Michael Parsons is not there. So suddenly now, and their corners can't cover anyone. So as a result, you sit there and stack up the line and then expose the corners. Or if you sit there to run, they're just going to get you on the run. So there's nothing you can really do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you're right. Odunze is going to be number one. DeAndre Swift actually did pretty good. I saw that Manungai was out there in terms of top of the waiver wire, and some people thought DeAndre was going to get replaced, and he didn't do too much. So they stayed with DeAndre.
Well, Swift looked good. He had a couple of really nice runs. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Well,
it was a
and
nice
one of
game
the
for the Bears, but
And Jeff, one of the things he said the key was that he was able to get in, call the plays early, set up. The offensive line gave up no sacks. And so as a result, they were able to get rid of him versus he's always constantly running around and getting sacked all the time. It just ruins all the momentum.
But remember, Eric Bieniemy is the running backs coach, so you gotta trust in the process that they're able to do. I think they're going to beat Las Vegas this week. Las Vegas isn't the best team in the world, but they do have a hard schedule coming up ahead.
yeah, I agree. I think they'll be 2-2, and then we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On a separate note, every single time I watch the defense play on the Detroit Lions, Branch is everywhere. I love watching Branch. He's such a good defensive back. New York Giants.
So it's 14-14.
Yeah, New York Giants versus Kansas City Chiefs. The only thing I have to say, Malik Neighbors just did nothing for me. I mean, I was hoping he would get at least 20 yards. Nothing from
No,
Malik
but they
Neighbors.
crowded him. They crowded him the entire game. If you watch the highlights, they were like all over that guy.
Did Kansas City cover in that? I was wondering. That was, to me, that was the lock of the week, was Kansas City not going down 0-3, that they had to win. But I was wondering if they would cover.
I really thought that they would blow out New York because they had such a bad defense. But New York did pretty good. I mean, they kept it close.
But the question is, when is Jackson? Okay, here's the thing. You think you're going to pick up Jackson Dart? Is it time to pick up a Jackson Dart on your dynasty league, or if you need a quarterback?
No, I'd rather get Drake May, Bo Nix, even Daniel Jones.
No, none of those guys are out there anymore. You got Jordan Love, Kyler Murray, Jake Browning. I'm actually considering throwing Jackson Dart on my waiver, like on my bench, just in case. Because short of that, I got Jordan Love. Jordan Love is not doing anything for me.
I like Kyler Murray still. Someone dropped him in one of our leagues, and I picked him up. I think that's a mistake. Kyler Murray is still...
You always have love.
Yeah, well, he's
Kyler
a Sooner.
Murray.
He's an OU Sooner, but also I love running quarterbacks because that covers so many sins. When you can run and get a little extra points that way, it really helps.
Speaking of OU Sooners, I was watching the game yesterday or the other day. The OU Sooners are really good. They're very good.
The defense is really good.
Oh
Their
my gosh,
defense is insane. The offense
Yeah.
is still a work in progress, but the defense is solid.
Tommy and I were texting about college the other day because Illinois got blasted.
Yes.
On
that was
Saturday night,
terrible.
right?
Yeah.
Because they're ninth ranked in the country, and that Indiana quarterback tore those guys apart.
Yep. They looked terrible. And it was like from the jump. Yeah, no, I'm very excited about OU this year. They seem to be legit. I don't think they're like top 4, but if they somehow make the playoffs this year, I'm gonna take my oldest son. Gotta go watch the game.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, just they haven't been there in so long, so
Yeah.
it'd be nice to go see.
Well, Mateer is a Heisman Trophy winner. He's too short to be a very good NFL pro quarterback, but Mateer is a good quarterback.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think it was early to call him a Heisman, front runner or whatever, because that offense they need to take some time to get to gel. But the defense is going to keep them in a lot of games.
Yeah, because remember who's going to win? Arch Manning.
Oh man, Manning
Arch
has
Manning.
been. Remember we talked about it. I was like, this guy is overrated because he
Mhm.
was a 4-star. He was not a 5-star quarterback coming in. And I was like, why are people just giving him all the hype because of his name? But man, he has not looked good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Whereas you have teams like Florida State, Miami Hurricanes, all of those guys, Tennessee Volunteers, they're so good this year.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a fun season.
Hey, any last thoughts before we wrap up here?
You guys watching baseball at all? I know the Cubs got into the playoffs, so
I haven't.
that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, you know what? I think a lot of times the Cubs will. They're most likely they're going to end up playing San Diego, and so I think they're going to win out against San Diego. But it's still against the Dodgers. They're the team to beat over there.
Yeah. The
But the
Dodgers are
Seattle Mariners with Cal Raleigh is so good. The Seattle Mariners have won 12 out of 13, and they just continue to roll.
Yeah. I've been wanting to buy an Otani rookie card, like invest in an Otani. A lot of these cards, their values have just been really skyrocketing. I was reading how playing cards over the past 3 years have beat the S&P 500.
Playing cards?
Yeah, like trading
Really?
cards,
Okay.
basketball, baseball,
Yeah.
football, Pokemon. I mean, their average returns have been higher, which is insane.
Hey, dumb people are willing to pay lots of money for those Pokemon cards.
Yeah. Well, it's like
And
Bitcoin. Like to me, you
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
have a little bit of your portfolio that can really go high. It's not
Mhm.
just kind of steady. So
Yeah. But what's the card? Okay, what's the card that people really like? It's that really nice one. You know what I'm talking about?
national treasures.
No, it's a type of card for the sports athletes that people really like. Yeah, let me look at it.
The one thing so we talked about ChatGPT last week. I've been using ChatGPT with all my retirement retirement account moves. Man, it's been really good. Like it's been really very good advice. So it's been really interesting.
I should try it. I haven't used it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really easy. You could just take a picture, you can literally take a picture, a screenshot of your portfolio, just plug it in and say, analyze my portfolio and and it'll ask you all these questions. It'll be like, what age do you want to retire? What's your
Mhm.
risk aversion? What do you have any other things you want to avoid? And then it'll spit out like a recommended portfolio strategy,
Mhm.
which has really been great.
Mark
Panini.
Andrews scored a touchdown.
Mark Andrews.
Ooh.
Look at that. I got him
Yeah,
in one of my
14-yard
yeah.
touchdown.
Mark
Good
Andrews.
job.
Look at that. Yeah. Panini sports card trading cards. That's
Panini.
Panini is like highly they said if you're going to collect cards, that's what you want to collect. And I've actually thought about buying a Caitlin Clark,
Yeah.
Shohei Panini,
Hey,
but they're expensive.
I like Paige Beckers, man. Paige
Yeah.
Beckers has been really
I've actually
good.
thought about investing into those Panini cards.
So Panini, you have to be careful. So Panini has a lot of different sub brands underneath Panini.
Mhm.
They are the largest, but National Treasures to me, that's the when
Really?
So when you look at they're called hobby boxes.
Yeah.
And those are the most expensive. Like you're paying like literally thousands of dollars for 10 cards, or something like that. But National Treasures is one of the most expensive, but
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
get a good
What look as the Labubu market
Hey,
has shown
that's
us
great.
those mystery boxes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been watching a lot of these YouTube and TikTok videos, and literally it's these guys who are sitting there unwrapping those cards,
Yep.
right? And so I was
Yep.
thinking about it, and they do this with like cartoon statues as well too. They pay what, a couple $100 for these things, but if you think about it, if you have enough viewers watching it,
Yep.
that already paid for itself.
Yep.
Right?
That's right.
And so now you're getting the benefits of the card along with this as well too.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a win-win situation. No, they're
Mhm.
in those guys doing box breaks and all of that. They're making money hand over fist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's crazy. Like I've been thinking about because I've been looking at some of these cards, but I wouldn't mind investing into a Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, Shohei Ohtani, even a Steph Curry type of card would be kind of good.
I've got some Steph Curry rookies. I need to send my stuff in to get graded because that's how you can
Uh-huh.
really get the most.
Victor Wembanyama cards, right? I would put some
Wembanyama,
money
yep.
into those.
Yep. Guys, I have to carry Jason Tatum on our basketball league in our keeper league because I can't drop him, so I gotta carry him. Are we doing four? Are we picking four keepers this year or is it five?
Four keepers, yeah,
Four?
four keepers.
See, I
Did,
gotta lose a slot to Jason
did
Tatum.
I did I tell you I ran into him? I didn't say hi, but I ran into him in Las Vegas. So I ran into him. I saw Kevin Garnett. I didn't see LeBron, but LeBron was there. They were all
That's
there.
cool.
They were all there for the Backstreet Boys concert.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
That's awesome. I like Tatum's son, his 3-year-old or 4-year-old son, Deuce. It's a
Mm.
cool kid.
Hey, speaking of that, Jed, I still have Giannis, Jokic, Curry,
Oh,
Doncic, but they're getting old on me.
yeah, you got to be careful. You got to know when to make the move. But look out for Doncic this year, man. Doncic is like
Yeah.
he's on a revenge tour kind of thing. This guy is
He's working out. He doesn't look fat right now.
no,
He's doing pretty well.
yeah. I don't know about the Lakers. I think the Lakers are still one piece short. So we'll see, where they end up. But Doncic
Hmm.
is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good to see
All right.
everyone.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks.